Well, our next guest it does investigate money management wrongdoing, and he's here to give us an idea of what's next in the investigation of the hedge fund community in the aftermath of the Galleon insider trading case. He's Edward Seidel, president of Benchmark Financial Services, a former SEC attorney, and he joins us now live from Boynton Beach, Florida. Edward, when you heard about this case with Rajaratnam, there was a lot of surprise among Wall Street insiders. He was so widely known, well respected. What was your reaction?
Well, I'm not surprised at all, because what's been happening is pension funds, endowments, and foundations and other professional fiduciaries have largely been giving hedge funds a pass, not holding them accountable to the same fiduciary standards that they hold traditional managers. As a result, hedge funds don't have a very sophisticated knowledge of fiduciary concerns like conflicts of interest, codes of ethics for personal trading, insider trading, use of affiliated brokers, and self-custodying of assets. These are critical issues for professional fiduciaries, but unfortunately, in this desperate search for higher returns, a lot of the professional investors have ignored them. Yeah,
some people would say, though, that there's a fine line. I mean, it's hard when you're in a hedge fund, you're making a business about being ahead of the curve. So when it comes to the question of insider trading, there's a gray area in some respects, you could say. So it sounds like you're talking more about people exploiting outright versus the insider trading question here. Misuse of funds versus someone getting a little greedy on the insider trading.
Well, when you're dealing with traditional money managers that are registered with the SEC, they're required under the federal laws to have codes of ethics, and part of the codes of ethics include policies on insider trading. When you're dealing with a hedge fund that's not registered with the SEC, there's no real requirement. So the hedge funds don't have the sensitivity to a lot of these issues and feel that they can pursue practices that or not play by the same rules.
On the investigation front, it sounds like there was wiretapping. There were wires worn by employees at the firm. As Rumi Khan has been fingered here as potentially the person, the employee who broke the case. When you hear about like FBI getting involved with wiretapping and the like, I mean, this seems a bit unusual in this white-collar space, no?
Well, it's not unusual at all. I mean, but what's surprising to me, and I think really revealing, is the response that we've seen from the hedge fund community is they're concerned about having their offices swept for wiretaps. They're not concerned about stopping insider trading. They're concerned about getting caught.
Well, people are coming to you for that? Hedge funds are coming to you for that?
They are coming to I'm in what would be called the money management intelligence community. They are coming to people who provide money management intelligence services to basically you know.
But you have firsthand knowledge of that, of hedge funds saying we want to make sure that no one here on the inside, no employee is wearing a wire, that our phones aren't tapped, that we're not under investigation.
Yes, I have insight. Yeah, I have knowledge about that.
And that's all.
And I think that's revealing.
But that's in the wake of Galleon, or has that been within the past year? I mean, we've been hearing a lot of growing pressure for further regulation of hedge funds. Is this a new thing within the past week?
Oh, yes. This is within the last week.
Wow.
And that's the response of I think, a lot of hedge fund operators, is that they don't want to stop the insider trading. They're not really sensitive to how serious this is. They want to basically continue doing what they're doing and not get caught.
Who are you talking about when we talk about these hedge fund managers who are adopting these tactics? Are they the giants? Are they the Galleons? Or are they some of the smaller shops that have survived?
Well, they're some of the largest shops, and there are also smaller shops as well. I mean, we have a lot of serious concerns about the very largest of hedge funds in the country and some of the very smallest. One of the problems you have with hedge funds, since they're not registered, nobody knows how many there are. You see data about hedge funds have performed, they're up 3% this quarter or whatever, but we have no defined universe. When you have with registration comes a defined universe, but nobody knows how many hedge funds there are in this country.
Right, but would registration alone really change that? Really change the practices?
Well, it would change practices by creating more accountability. It's like getting a driver's license. By requiring driver's licenses, we have an idea of how many drivers there are on the road. If we didn't require licenses, we wouldn't have any idea how many people were driving on the road. Or maybe we would, but the point is that registration creates accountability, and we don't have that now. Nobody knows what hedge fund performance is because nobody knows how many hedge funds there are.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Edward Seidel, for joining us live from Florida. He's the president and founder of Benchmark Financial Services.